Hello everyone, good afternoon. Welcome all of you today. The last, final and last workshop of our Datathon. Actually, so we are going to start our today's Datathon program. Today's workshop actually. Tanzim Apu will conduct the whole workshop. I am welcoming Tanzim Apu to start the workshop. Please, Tanzim
Thank you,
Apu.
Momo. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yes, welcome, dear girls, once again, for the last time. So you don't have to see me all the time, every Saturday anymore. So I have a message for you. I've got two video messages for you. They will be your supervisors, Dr. Shantana Tuli and Dr. Shebuti Rayana. Okay. So let me show. They wanted to join live, but it's actually 4 a.m. in the morning. One is living in New York, and another supervisor is living in San Francisco. So they actually tried to stay here for the last time, but 4 a.m. in the morning is way too early or too late. So that's why I requested them to send me video, and that's what they did. So I'm going to share my screen with you.
Hi everyone, I'm Shantana Tuli. I'll be a supervisor for the Datathon. I'm really excited to be here and to work with all of you. I work as a machine learning engineer at Directly, which is based in San Francisco. I do natural language processing, machine learning. I'm also a team lead for a data science team at CERN. We analyze particle collision data to answer questions about the secrets of the universe. I'd like to thank HerWILL, Inspired in Life and Leadership, which is a great organization that I've been a member of since its inception, and I'm really glad for the opportunity to finally work with them. I would also like to thank Bangladesh Open Source Network. I truly believe that open sourcing our work is the path to advancing human knowledge. So thank you all for being here, and I'm very excited to work with you. Bye.
Hello everyone, I'm Shebuti Rana. I'm one of the supervisors of the Datathon 2021 organized by HerWILL, Women Inspired in Life and Leadership, and Bangladesh Open Source Network as part of the Ada Lovelace Celebration 2021. I am currently working as an assistant professor of Computer and Information Sciences at State University of New York at Old Westbury. I had my PhD in computer science from Stony Brook University. My PhD research was on data mining, more specifically on anomaly mining. I have designed several ensemble and multimodal learning approaches for anomaly mining and applied them on real-world datasets for solving real-world problems. Before coming to the US for higher studies, I completed my bachelor's in computer science and engineering from WET. And after my graduation, I worked as a lecturer in State University of Bangladesh and University of Asia Pacific. And now let me tell you a small story about my journey towards data science. So before I started my PhD, I wanted to do research in bioinformatics. Actually, I was working with a group of researchers and with autistic children on their learning approaches. And I was very keen about this research problem that the gene mutation, detecting specific gene mutations, the researchers can detect autism early for an autistic human being. So I was very interested in that research field. But after coming to the US, so the Stony Brook University has a different rule. So you do not need an advisor before you get into the PhD. You can go to different labs, learn about their projects, they work with different professors, and then you can decide your field of research. And in doing that, I met this new professor who was working in anomaly mining and graph mining, and I was fascinated by her research. And I started a summer project with her. And it was a challenge project by Northrop Grumman, which is an aerospace and defense technology company. They gave us a challenge data set, and our job was to find out subtle anomalies from that data set, and they didn't give us any ground truth. So when I was presenting, so that summer I worked on this project, and when I was presenting my work in front of them, they said that they gave this data set to 10 different labs, and our lab was the first one to give them a result, and the result was correct, that we were able to find out those anomalies. And after that, they funded our project, and that was a great achievement for me. And from then I started doing research in data mining, like in graph mining and anomaly mining. And we know that we are living in a data age, so the event organized by HerWILL and BDOSN is well timed. So thanks for this. They are doing a great job, and I hope that some of the students who are participating in this event will become interested, and they will do more studies and pursue a career in data science. Thank you.
Oh, that was a nice message. Yeah, Momo, can you please admit 3 persons are waiting in the waiting room? Okay, that was a really nice message. Yes, I hope so too, that you girls, like, it's just an introduction this time. I really wish that you get more motivated in working in data science, and let's see. So please welcome Carolina Worf from Germany. She works as a science manager at the Helmholtz AI. Today, Carolina will be talking about different validation and evaluation methods. So we have learned how to do descriptive analysis. We have learned how to do feature engineering and process your data from the database and read it, or like working on a database. And of course, yeah, the data processing, feature engineering, and different machine learning models, decision tree, random forest. And now here's the thing, we have different models. Now, which model is performing the best? So this is what this session is about today. So please, Carolina, you can start. I will go mute, okay? Thank you. Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out how to do it. Wait. The most important thing first is, so why evaluation and validation? So why is it necessary? Yes, so now you learned how to select your features, you learned how to do your model, but what are you doing now? So yeah, now you want to see, okay, did I generate a really good model? Is it working? Then you need to compare it to other models to see, okay, how is my model working compared to others? And if your model is better than others or worse, and if you have to work on it again. So that's really important, and one of the steps you really need to do when you're done with your model, and you need to find out, okay, is it good or not, or do I have to do something to make it better? That's why evaluation and validation is really important. And okay, that works okay. And so one of the first things is a lot of classification metrics, and it's a lot of mathematics. So I hope that you're not scared, but about mathematics, because it's there's a lot of math behind all the evaluation and validation going on. And one of the easiest things is to use a confusion matrix. So, wait. Okay. So what is the confusion matrix? So you have your
predictions from your machine learning method. Then you have the actual, so you have a data set and you know what would be true. So for example, you have women and men, and you want to predict if they are pregnant or not. And I mean, men can't be pregnant, but still, you just want to predict it. And you have this confusion matrix has four fields, so 2 columns and 2 rows. And here we have, for example, in the first row, the positive predicted ones, which means either the person is pregnant or not, and if it's true, then it's in the first one, so it's actually person is pregnant or not, and you predicted it correctly. And true, if you have so in the second column, if you predicted it correctly that it's not pregnant, then it's in the second row, and if it's correctly in the first one, it's if you predicted that the person is pregnant and it's true, and if it's not pregnant, but okay, that's so it's the easiest thing. No, not that I'm doing something wrong. So the first one is you predicted it's pregnant, but it's, wait, let's see that I'm not confusing myself. It's called true positive if it's pregnant and true. False positive means that you predicted it, that someone is pregnant, and it's not true. Then we have in the second row the negative one. So you have a false negative when you predicted it's not pregnant, but the person is pregnant. And then it's a true negative when the person is not pregnant and you predicted it correctly. So the upper left and the right down corner are the ones where you are predicted true, and your predictions are correct, and the other ones are the ones where they are not correct. And there are different metrics that you can now predict, or you can use these 4 values to predict, for example, the recall. So the recall is the true positives divided by the true positives plus the false negatives. And it gives you the number of correctly predicted true positive values. And then you can also do the precision. That's true positive divided by true positive plus false positives. And you also have the accuracy. That's the overall correctness. So how good you performed. So you calculate all the true predictions, so true positive plus true negatives, and divided by all values. And for you, it's also important to have this F-score. If you have, for example, 2 models that have a really low sensitivity, or they are so if they are not so easy to compare, you use the F-score, where you have the 2 times recall and the precision divided by recall plus precision. So it's a little bit more stable than the accuracy. That's why you use the F-score. Cool. Someone is drawing into my slides. Do you have questions about this? Because I will give you an example, because it's easier to see what's it's easier to understand it if you have an example here. So it's a super easy example. We have a tree and there are apples on there, and the red apples are the ripe ones that we want, and the green ones are the unripe apples. And we have a machine now that picked 6 apples that you can see in the basket. 5 are red and 1 is green, so 1 is unripe, and the 5 are correct. But it also left 2 ripe ones on the tree. So On the right side, you can see the classification or this confusion matrix. So we have 5 that were ripe and we picked correctly, 1 that was unripe that we picked, and we have 2 that were ripe and we didn't pick them, and 2 that were unripe and were correctly left on the tree. And what I want you to do now is to use, or hopefully you know what you need to calculate now. I want you to tell me the precision of this model on empirical accuracy F1. But let's start with the precision. And I can't see. Okay, that's a little bit. Now I see why the people didn't see the comments that you are giving in the chat. Okay, now I can see the chat as well. So please Google precision, how you calculate it, and please write in the chat or tell us. What did you say? Sorry. Hello?
Should we say the answer or just write it?
You
Just
can do
write
both.
it.
You can do both.
Okay, I think precision
Yeah.
will be 5 by 7, right?
Wait. You mean what?
Precision 5 by 7. You can write it down on the chat.
Yeah.
It's better.
Yeah.
Yeah. Write down on the chat.
I can't see the chat is in my way, but yes, I can't move the chat anymore. Okay, let's see.
No, I can see it. It's okay. I'll tell
Okay,
you.
cool. Okay, yeah, 5 by 7. True. Wait. Okay, yeah. 5. Oh no, it's 5 by divided by 6. So recall is 5 by 7. So here I just wanted to just give you a small example how to calculate it, because it's really important that you also understand how to calculate it. So the precision here is all the positive values, so the true positives divided by true positives and false positives, and you get a score of 5 divided by 6, and it's 0.83. And for the recall, we divide the true positives by the true positives plus the false negatives, and we get a score from this 5 through 7, 5 divided through 7. This is 0.71. And here you can also see the accuracy and the F1 score. And the F1 score is more an harmonic mean between precision and recall. So you can see that the F1 score is 0.77, and it's exactly the mean between precision and recall. And it's used to compare, for example, 2 models that have a different precision recall. And accuracy sometimes is not as precise as the F1 score. So it's really important to use, for example, the F1 score to compare your models. So yeah, the F1 score is telling you the precision, so it's a mixture between precision and recall, so it's more the harmonic mean between these two. It's really important to compare the 2 models, because it can happen that the precision is, for example, really low and the recall is really high. So it can happen that you want to know the mean between those 2. Let's move on. Sorry. Yeah, there's another metric that is used, that is called the receiver operating characteristic curve. And this ROC curve, so-called ROC curve, is calculated by the true positive rate against the true negative rate. And the true positive rate is this recall that we already calculated, so the true positives against true, or divided by true positives plus false negatives. And the true negative rate is now something new. It's also called specificity, and it's the false positive cases divided by the true negatives plus the false positives. And with true negative, so how you measure or how you generate this ROC curve, you have your values, you have your predictions, and now you use a threshold that you change. So you can, for example, set the threshold at 0.2, then you can set it at 0.5, and you shift it, and then you get this curve. Usually, so if you would only calculate it for one set, it would only be a point. So if it's only for one threshold, it's only a point. But to get this curve, you need to shift your threshold and get this curve. And here you can see an example that a random classifier would give you this diagonal. So you always, or you want to be better than the random classifier. And your model gets better the higher the curve gets. And it gets worse when it's lower. And you want to have a perfect score. But it can also happen that if you have a perfect score, that you're underfitting or overfitting, usually overfitting. And that's also something that you don't want to have. So so the best model would be something like the orange or blue line, because 100% perfect can mean that you have a bias, and you don't want that. So let's go on to the next slide. Another measure that you use is the area under the curve, so the area under the ROC curve. And here are some examples. For example, on the left, you can see the perfect ROC curve, and you have an area under the curve that is 100%, because you see the whole square is filled out. So it's a complete, let's say, it's a complete area under the ROC curve. And you also can see the chance length is, again, the diagonal. And on the second plot, you can see we have a pretty good ROC curve, and the AUC, or area under the curve, is 75%. Then we have one where it's just run like a random classifier, so it performs like 50% right. And on the right, you can see there is some error because your ROC curve is really bad, and you have an area under the curve where you see it from 0%, and you don't want that. Underneath, you can see how this would look like if you model. So on the left, your model really predicts negatives and positives completely correct. And in the middle, you can see there's an overlap, and on the right, there was some error because your ROC curve doesn't make sense at all. But it can happen that you have an overfitting or an underfitting. And I also wanted to go at least for slightly, or just tell you about it, because it can happen that you underfit. That means, or I like this plot because it shows you that your classifier, for example, a linear regression, would divide your points, and it doesn't make sense. So it's but in underfitting, you get a lot of wrong scores, and it's also not perfect. In the middle, you can see a perfect classifier, and in the right, you can see an overfitting. And overfitting means you just, as you can see, it just it works correctly for your data set. But if you get another data set, maybe the model doesn't work anymore because it just suits this data set. But if you get another data point, it destroys your model, and that's overfitting. And there are some possibilities or some things you can do if you underfit. For example, you need more data, add more features, train longer. So there are possibilities to to get rid of this bias. For the overfitting, you try to also get more data. Usually the data is the problem. Or you perform regularization. What you can also do, and that is really common, is doing cross-validation. So to divide your data set, in different chunks, and then do test and training and do it for several times. So there are different cross-validation methods, and I just wanted to show you two of them. So the most used ones are leave-one-out cross-validation and the k-fold cross-validation. And here you can see the leave-one-out cross-validation where you divide your data set. Here in the example, it's you divide it into 8 chunks, and you use one for testing and rest for the training. So you first train your data set on the 7 that are not your test data set, and then you use your test data set, and yeah. So you do it for 8 times. So the test data. So every data set with 8 chunks, every chunk will be the test set once, and all the others will be the training set. So you repeat until you did it. Until every chunk was once a test set. Sorry. And the other model. Oh, sorry, that was too fast. The other model is the k-fold cross-validation. So here you divide your data also in number n chunks. Here it's 12. And when you shuffle your data, so you don't want to have it in the same order. And you shuffle the data, and when you use k, here it's 3. And usually they use 5 or 10. So I knew 10-fold cross-validation. That's what we use in university all the time. So 5 and 10 is the usual k that you use for cross-validation. And when you shuffle the data and you divide it into these 3 sub-chunks, or 3 data sets, and you use each of these 3 data sets once for test and the other ones for the training, and repeat it. So this is more let's say not as biased as the leave-one-out cross-validation, because you also shuffle your data. And but the problem on this cross-validation is that it takes a long time. So the leave-one-out cross-validation is really time-intensive, and that's why so it takes time to calculate it, and that's why they use this k-fold cross-validation. And yeah, I think that's the most important thing that you should do. You should always divide your data set. Usually it's 30% that you really take out and leave as your test set, and use 70% from the data for the cross-validation for training your model, and the 30% usually as your test set. So because the problem is you usually have a data set and you want to predict something. For example, if someone else has some disease and you want to predict it, you have a problem that you only have this one data set, and usually you just leave 30% out and you use this as your not test set, but you're trying to figure out if your model is good or not, because you know that you know what the outcome would be, and you use it for testing your model and seeing if it's correct or not. I know that I was rushing through everything. If you have questions, just give them now, or just write us the questions and we will try to answer them.
There are questions.
Yeah.
Yes,
can see that.
I saw that
Yeah.
too. The thing is, Carol, can you please show
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
first wait, the one with the F1 score accuracy, that slide, the
Yeah. Sorry.
confusion matrix.
This one or the one with the
No, the confusion
sample?
matrix. This is the one before. Okay.
Yeah.
I just wanted to say that right now the mock datathon which is going on, and a few have joined it. So in the mock datathon we have taken the measure as accuracy, that we're using the accuracy for this mock datathon. But for the datathon, but for as well, this is our evaluation method that we are using for now. But for the real datathon we will be using the AUC.
Okay. Yeah.
And there's a question, what is F1 score telling us? Well, honestly speaking, it's actually a harmonic mean of recall and precision. So F1 score is just giving equal importance to recall and precision, and not just only recall or only precision. And then it's just, it's up to your interpretation what you want to use or not. I would say accuracy 100%. What do you think? AUC 100% mean overfitting, or does it mean cheating or overfitting? What does it mean?
It can be overfitting. So the problem is you never know, is it overfitting or is your model really the perfect model that you have? I would say it's usually overfitting.
It's usually overfitting. Can I see the curve, the slide with the AUC curve and stuff?
Wait.
Yeah,
I have to click through it. I like this one because it really shows you, okay, AUC is always under the curve, and 100% AUC is usually also.
The thing is, we never saw 100% AUC in our whole life.
Usually it's 99 point something, but I think that
no.
I model shouldn't have 100%.
The best I have achieved was 0.74, and even then my boss 0.78. Even then my boss was saying, Tanzeen, something's gone wrong. I said, what? It's good. No, it's overfitted. I'm like, really? I have done really well. No, it's overfitted. And then I got another random data set and it was still 0.78. And then she was convinced that, okay, that model was good. And
I think it's not normal to have, I think the highest, I saw, I mean, I didn't a lot of machine learning, but the thing that I saw was 94, and that was also like, okay, that's crazy. But usually you have around 70 is really good.
Yeah, that's true. I have a question here. What is regularization? Caro, did you speak about regularization in your slides today? I don't think so. Did
Only
you?
Once.
Only once.
I forgot where, but I did it once.
It's actually just to it's how you can.
It's not
No, the thing is regularization. We won't be talking about regularization much because it's a little bit. It's a very important topic in machine learning, but it's a method how you can avoid overfitting and you don't want to have your model to be overfitted. So this is using regularization. There are different techniques. You can just reduce the error, okay, by you want to fit a function appropriately on the training set, and then this is how you avoid the overfitting. But we are not covering this method here. These are the really basic workshop for the Datathon for the participants who will be participating next week in a few days. So regularization, we use it actually more in deep learning. So we definitely are not covering regularization. And
I
yes, these
removed the deep learning from the slide.
no,
Because I
no,
was
no,
like,
no,
okay.
no. Good job. No, the deep learning, we are not doing any deep learning here.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
just to give the girls a very basic idea to motivate them to to encourage them to go towards data science. And if we start talking
mm,
about deep learning, regularization, and other stuff, we will scare them away. That is not our
yeah,
uh,
yeah,
goal. Yes, and these metrics, you can apply these matrix for regression and also for classification. I mean,
yeah,
yeah, how you can show it, like you can honestly, I mean, you can use AUC, rock function, precision recall function, everything on
yeah,
logistic regression, and in decision tree or random forest, you can use it.
yeah,
You can use it.
yeah. You can use it on everything. So
Yeah,
yeah,
it's up to
it,
you, it's up to your interpretation. The thing is, like, unless we
yeah,
know what the real problem is, the thing is, you have to read through the literatures and understand that, okay, why are you taking this matrix? Sometimes
yeah,
if you do like F1 score, people well, F1 score looks really good because it's the harmonic mean of precision and recall, and giving the same importance to precision and recall. But some professors I have seen that they will not take the F1 score because they just think like, no, this is not good for us. It's just a hype or something like that.
yeah,
You have
yeah,
to like read through what you were doing. I mean, without being
yeah,
specific, like, you always have to have your own reason to use what you were using. So
yeah,
uh, the freedom is yours, and that's it. Yeah.
yeah. Usually the people have one metric that they like most, and that's what one that they use for everything. So yeah, it's
Yeah. Yeah.
it
I
really
mean,
depends on the person
exactly. I mean, I
and
personally
also the
always use
field.
AUC.
And
The
on the field. Yeah, yeah. I would also I think because I hear a lot of talks about AI and machine learning. ADC and drug curves are the usual thing. So yeah, I would also use that. But
yeah.
to a confusion matrix is super easy and it's understandable, and that's why a lot of people use it. But I would also recommend to use the AUC. That's what most people do. Yes. Are there other questions? Ah, yeah, I wanted to. Do we have a break now, or what are we doing now?
We can we can have a break, and then you can show the, the few codes like
We can also show it now because it's not a lot of code that I
then show
will
it
show
show it
you.
now. It's fine. Show it now.
Okay.
Show it now. Our session today is
I think I
okay.
need to do a
Can
new
you explain
share.
specificity and sensitivity to in a bit more detail? There is like the precision and recall. Well, the thing is, it is called specificity and sensitivity, but
Yeah.
these terms are not used anymore. It's precision and recall. Just a tip. Nowadays, we don't call it sensitivity or specificity anymore. We call it
Yeah.
precision and recall.
But
Yeah.
it was used for a long time, and they are equal. So it's just another name for recall and precision.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just wanted to show you that there is another name. If you hear sensitivity or specificity, it's also possible to.
Yeah, does that answer your question, Naim? Because you just said like, can you please explain sensitivity and specificity in more details? Uh, so we did discuss the precision and recall; those are the same. Or do you want to like understand precision and recall like better? I don't see any text. Wait a second. Yeah. So what is specificity and what is sensitivity? I always mix them up. I
I
never know.
also mix them up. It's
I
like
always mix them up. I know what precision is. I know what recall is, but which one is sensitivity and which one is specific? Wait a second. I think um,
I think that's
precision is specificity, right?
What do you mean? What is
Precision is specificity, right?
Yes, yes.
And recall is sensitivity, right?
Yes. Yeah, I forgot to put specificity here. No, I think specificity is not something. Wait.
This is the same. One is one and another is another. It's just I was
No,
mixing up.
I think specificity is something else when wait. Precision is something else than specificity. So
No, recall is sensitivity. That's I'm
yeah.
100% sure, because it's like the true positive. Can you show the
Yeah.
slide with the true positive rate and the true negative rate? There is something
Yeah, that was V2.
yeah,
I should have
yeah.
put specificity there as well, because it's no, not
Specificity is not precision, is
yeah,
it?
precision
No,
is
it's a
the
true
thing that
negative rate. It's a true negative rate. Sorry, yeah. This is just like the
yeah.
other way to call them. The thing is, if I say specificity, my brain goes on like, okay, reading or literature. What is specificity? But the moment I
Yeah.
say true negative rate, I immediately imagine this formula and I know what it is.
Yeah, I also think that the true positive and true negative rate is more saying what it is, and specificity and sensitivity is more like a
It's
fancy name.
fancy, exactly. These are fancy names.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, you can show the code.
Okay,
Today
yeah.
we won't have a long session.
No, it is
talk-
also not really long. I will just
No.
show you a small part.
Yeah.
It's R code, and I'm not sure if you're using R, but I would not recommend it. I really am not a fan of R, but I had to use it for the last 4 years. It's good for plotting. I don't know if Python is getting better in plotting, but I think R is still better in doing really fancy plots. But yeah, I'm not a fan of R. But still, you can use R or Python. Both are working for the machine learning course and for the Datathon. I will show you the stuff in R because I'm more used to R now. But you can also, I'm pretty sure there are functions in Python that are also doing the same thing. I just wanted to show you some small functions or some packages that you use for generating the AUC and the precision and recall. And for example, you have here an AUC function. It's really easy. You give it the predictions and your target data, and you just call this prediction function. It's from the rock R package in R. So the rock curve package in R. And when you get all the predictions that I plotted them here. So it's just a small set from the data set that we had that you worked on the last times. I just printed the 51st predictions. And when you can calculate the AUC by using this performance function and saying that you want the AUC out of these values. So the same works for the precision and recall. You can say that you want the precision or the recall using this performance function, and when you have your precision and recall values, and here we have the AUC values, you can also tell the function to give you all these true negatives, false positives. You can get all these values and calculate it yourself. So you can do whatever you like the most. I also did some I also put in some classification or confusion matrices, but I just typed in some random numbers to just see or to just show you that it's easy to generate precision and recall, and also their accuracy. And I also try to do one example where you have a high sensitivity but a low false positive rate. So you can see we have really good or a lot of positive or true values or true predicted values, and not as many negative ones. And when your precision is really high but your recall is really low, and your accuracy is still really high, and that's where you use the F1 score usually. So for these more unbalanced data sets. And also the other way around, no, not the other way around, but you only have one score that is really, really low. You also get really high accuracy. That's the special cases where you have the problem that that your data is imbalanced and you get a high accuracy, even if it's not showing the true truth about your model. That's just the one thing that I wanted to show you. Was there something else? Tanzim?
No, I think that's fine. And do you have the carve? Can you show them the carve?
No, the cover I don't have. Oh, I think I have it here.
Maybe there.
You can see it here. I have it once for one of the models that Philip calculated last week. Here you can see the area under the curve is 62, and it's pretty good. And we are preferring better than random. And yes, that's one of the. So you can see the rock curve, and the area under the rock curve would be the part under the curve. Yes, that's it.
So there is a
Questions about it?
question. There is a question. It's really interesting.
Yeah.
Shauna has a question. For true positive rate, it is true positive divided by true positive and false negatives. She understands that. But
Yeah.
why is the true negative rate not TN divided by TNFP? Why is it, wait.
Yeah, right. I also have to think about it.
The thing is the true listen, wait, the true negative, that's the false positive rate. Wait.
And I also saw somewhere that
False positive rate.
specificity is equal to actually true negative by true negative plus FP. I can share you the image.
Yeah. It could
Good.
be that I made something wrong here. That could also happen.
Carol,
Can I
Yeah.
can I share an image
Wait,
with you?
I will just. How can I get out of my? Okay, cool.
No, I think I
maybe
can just send the image in the chat. No problem.
Yeah,
You don't have.
yeah, it can happen that I accidentally put the wrong one here.
It's a false positive rate, not true negative rate.
It would make sense to have here the true negatives one. Wait. You can also go on the wiki page that I copy pasted it from. Yeah, it's true. Here it is. Ugh. So the true negative rate is really true negative root. So I did a mistake here in my slides. True, it's true negative divided by true negative plus false positive. That was one of my. Maybe I did.
You were working late.
I don't know why. Yeah, I was working late, so
Okay, yeah.
I don't know how I could.
No, thanks, Shauna. Thank you very much to point it out. Yes, you're right. You're right. It's not the it's what is shown in the slides is the false positive rate. The true negative rate is the TN by TNFP. Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah, false positive. Yeah, I'm also used to use the false discovery rate, but I didn't want to introduce this metric here.
Okay. And Carrot, there is another question from Naim. He has problems with carrot package when, okay, well, I used carrot package to create confusion matrix for naive base, but I don't use it anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, what is your problem? What
Yeah.
problem did you have? You can send an email. I'll take a look because I mean, it's fine. I mean, I used carrot for the confusion matrix for naive base,
Yeah.
but I never had problem with that. I have
I
to
also
understand
didn't have problems with that.
what problem
But
you're having.
in R, that's a problem. So the problem in R is that sometimes R is updated, and then some packages don't work with the version that you have, or the package is updated and then it doesn't work with the version in R or the R version that you have. So, or you missed or you didn't, you need to install some packages that, for your system, that could also happen. There are a lot of things in R that are not easy. That's why I would recommend to use Python. You don't have as many problems with packages in Python than in R. And I think that's the. But yeah, just tell us what the problem is, and we can try to fix it. Because
Okay.
that's a common thing in R.
Yeah, that's why we all hate R.
Yeah, I mean, I had once an error that took me 2 days to solve it, so 2 full days working on it. And that's why I'm not a fan of R. Yeah.
Okay, now I have to say something. So, I know, like, there are also other people here who are not attending in the Datathon, but they're just interested in having some, like, listening to the workshops. And this is also the first time we're doing it. And all four of us, we did the workshop while working. You know, we have a 40 hours week job. And I'm currently in my office because I couldn't work that much yesterday. So after this workshop, I will have to work for my office. And Kao, I know you've been working till 8 o'clock or something last night for the office, and then you started to work for the workshop. So there were some mistakes, there were some confusions and everything. But for any type of questions, please, you can either mail us directly. I have sent you, or like email at HerWILL or at BDOSN. You can like fill up the feedback. You can give us feedbacks and everything there in the website. It would be really helpful to us as well, since we are conducting something like this also for the first time in this context, like on a Zoom workshop. So that would be really great, because we would like to continue to do something like that next year. And how we can do it better, how we can organize it better, that would be really great if we have some feedbacks from you. Also give us some positive feedbacks. What did you like, and what did you learn? That would be the great message to us, that what have you learned from here, what you did not know before. Okay, that would be great if you can tell us that. And so now I will make some announcements, and I will talk about something important related to the Datathon. So I would like to have hands who are here for the day, who are doing the Datathon. Can you please raise your hands? The Datathon. No, the competition is not open for our men counterpart. Unfortunately not, because you have to understand this Datathon is being organized as a part of the Ada Lovelace celebration, which is taking place next week on Friday and Saturday. So the Datathon was proposed to, like, it's incorporated with the Ada Lovelace celebration, and it's a Women in Technology celebration. So unfortunately, this Datathon is not open for men.
Tanzim, one
Yeah,
question.
yeah.
Someone asked if
I used
just a little bit before. How
I
good
use
is Vector compared to R and Python?
what, Veka?
Yeah, maybe you know more
Yeah,
about
I
it,
use
but
Veka. The thing is like, everybody, the thing is, you will find lots of, Veka is a data mining tool. So while I was doing my master's thesis, I used Veka and I used Python. So the thing is, Veka is a good option. It was, I think it's, the software is from New Zealand, University of New Zealand somewhere, and Hitachi Vantara is the distributor. So Veka is, it's a good thing, let's say. If you have a set, you feed Veka the set, and then you can choose decision tree. You can tune the parameters as you want and however you want. You can do that. It's a user interface. You don't have to program yourself. That is fine. But I personally think that Veka, if you are a programmer, if you can program the machine learning models yourself, you have way more freedom and liberty to make a better model than Veka. But if you're just like starting machine learning, and you are trying to do it in Python or in R, you can implement it yourself. I would always recommend that, to implement the stuff yourself. But you can also use Veka. You can use Veka as benchmarking. Okay, you can do that. I mean, it's not a bad thing. It's a really good software. You can do the same thing in Veka and see the Veka's result and your result. Okay, you can do it like benchmarking. But yes, I mean, I had no problem using Veka, except that I wasn't that happy with the result. I had the feeling that I could do more, and that's how I also got interested more in machine learning, that what is going on beyond Veka's software, beyond all the interface. So I wanted to understand the underlying architecture and the algorithms, and that's when I started to implement a machine learning algorithm myself. It's completely up to you. Every person is an individual and have their own individual taste, and you can just try it. It's completely fine. I mean, it's completely okay. Oh, that's Naim. I was thinking that this question was from you. Anyway, Naim, I get that. You should, I think, is he there? I don't know. If you have any questions, you can contact me personally after the Datathon, after next week. Then I will have some more time. I know that you are doing your master's thesis. We can also talk about it and discuss if you need some help. But apart from that, let me get back to Anika. Okay, Anika. First, you go to not to the notebook, but go to the ALC Datathon mock, the overview page, the main page. Yes. So, can you go to the leaderboard? I just want to see something. Okay. Can you go? Can you scroll down? Okay. Can you click at private leaderboard? Okay. And go back to the public, because I need to check what's going on. Since I'm not the competitor, I am the host. My visibility is different than your visibility. Of course, I can create a fake account and something, but the problem is you're not supposed to create 2 accounts on Kaggle, because if I ever compete in another Kaggle challenge, and if they want to verify me for a result or something, and if they see that I have 2 accounts, they will actually kick me out for cheating. So that's why I cannot go in and see. So first of all, let me explain. This is exactly the way it will be for the Datathon, the main Datathon. It will be completely private. Nobody will be able to see the other team's score. I feel like this is completely fair in a competition. Okay. And also the thing is, currently you are submitting your submission files and you are having the scores, and I told you on Discord that you should contact me personally. And Carol, you're also a host. You can also see the scores and everything on private leaderboard. With the host, we can see the private leaderboards. So you can ask us and ask that, okay? what is the score? And I can tell you, yes, this is the score. Yeah, this is the score. It's good or not, or something like that. Now, during the datathon, you will have the same privilege. Okay, the teams can ask me what is my score, and after a certain point, let's say 6 hours before closing, so it's going from 26th of January 6 p.m. till 28th of January 6 p.m. So 28th of January around noon, from 12 p.m., we won't be giving you the scores anymore. Okay, and you will have up to, right now you are allowed to upload 5 submissions a day. During the datathon, you will have more. I will have to look how many more, but I mean, I want you to submit as many files as you can, but I need to see what is the highest limit. You will get the highest limit. Okay, and you can always ask me what is the score. I will tell you the score personally. Okay, but I will not disclose the score. No supervisor or no host will disclose the score to the other team. Okay? And another point is, repeating myself again, from 12 o'clock, 12 p.m. noon on the last day of the datathon, for the next 6 hours, we will not be providing you with any scores. Okay? Now, so you can either program the whole thing on your local computer. How you do it, it's completely up to you. But I will recommend you to use notebooks. So Anika, can you please click on notebooks? So here you can click the new notebook and you can start. You can start a notebook, and you can also, Anika, can you please click on the 3 dots beside data sets on the panel up there? Yeah. So click on team. So you can see only yourself, right? So you can create a team, and the team can contribute to the notebook. So please try it. Whoever has a team, is a team member, and is working with a team, create a team in this mock setup. Okay, so this is very important, girls. Listen to this. This datathon mock, this environment has been created so that you can have the practice all technical issues like Anika is having right now. I will show you what's happening, and I will try to fix it. So all technical problems, team creation, management, notebook collaboration, everything, you have to test it on this mock datathon. And this will go till 25th. And after that, it's closed. From 26th, during the real competition, we will not collaborate with you regarding these technical issues. We will, personally we will, but you will be losing time. The thing is, it's fair and square. We have given you the chance of participating in this mock datathon for a week, and you should practice it, and you will just lose your time. Every second counts. 48 hours, every second counts. Okay, but we won't be discussing it on the public channel anymore. If you are having some technical problem, of course, we will not let you be alone. We will always be there. That's what the supervisors are for. Of course, we will help you, but we will not discuss it like this in a public setup. Okay, you had your chance. Now it's up to you. All right, so Anika, can you please click on your notebook? Okay, so can I see your notebook? Okay, so can you share it with me? Because there's a thing, I can see a notebook of someone else. Her notebook is visible to me, but your notebook is not visible to me. So I'm going to ALC date, no, not BDOSN, it's the Kaggle mock. Okay, notebooks. I can see only one notebook. That's the Team Kingpin. I can see the Team Kingpin's notebook, but you are not Team Kingpin, are you, Anika?
No, I'm not.
No, you're not. So you can click on sharing. Search for users, search for Tanzim Hawk. Let me have a look. And this is also very important. Yes, I got it. This is also a very important thing that please, if you're using Kaggle Notebook, that's really good. Share it with us. If not, the supervisors, we would really like to see your code. Just by providing the submission file, that's not enough to win the competition. You have to show us your code, your programming, how you did that. There will be a complete set of rules that we will publish on the website of BDOSN and also on the Datathon competition. The rules will be there. So we will also mention that the supervisors need to have access to the code. Okay, we will have to see it. Let me see. View on Kaggle. Okay, now I can see it. Now I can see it. Good. Anika, I can see it now. Good.
Maybe there was
solved.
some problem before.
It's okay. Problem solved. I can see it now. Good. Then we can talk on Discord about this. We can take it. We can do it privately. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So, another thing. So let me tell you a little bit about the whole thing. You will be provided with a data set. Okay, so there will be a training set and a test set, exactly how we did that here. Okay, so I will explain about the data set that we will provide. I will discuss about it just before the competition starts. The competition starts on 26th at 6 p.m. Bangladesh time. On 5 p.m., I will explain what this data set is about. I'll explain you the problem, the question. Of course, you have to do some predictions, but what this is about, I'll just tell you that and nothing more. And the data set that we're using, I will be, not me, it's Sabbir, the first mentor you met the first time. He will be tweaking it. He will be changing some, he will be doing some stuff with it, okay? You will not have the original data set. You will have a little bit different. But anyway, so your job would be to predict the result, and it will be a binary classification. We will not do any multi-classifier stuff because we did not discuss about it. The important thing is just think about the 4 workshops. Descriptive analysis, then we did, the database management system. In the beginning, we thought that we will provide the data on a database. You should work on from there by connecting on Python or R script or however you want. But then we decided that it can be too complicated for you. So it was a good to know session, how to connect to a database, how to work on a database. It's a good to know information, but you won't have to do that in the competition. So descriptive analysis, first criteria. Second is the feature engineering. The thing is, again, it depends. It is very important how you process your data. Okay, so with this Titanic, I have created a small mock set of the Titanic competition, some training set and test set. The way you are processing the data, you're doing the feature engineering. That would be also a criteria for the supervisors, that how did you tweak the columns? What did you incorporate? What's your idea? Did you come up with a new idea to do feature engineering? Did you come up with a new idea to split the set, to split the strings? I mean, what are you using? Are you using the imputation, the one-hot encoding, or are you doing grouping? Are you scaling? Are you binning? what are you doing? What knowledge, what techniques are you applying here to process your data? And then, of course, the models. The thing is, in case of the models, there is not much that we can help you with. That's just the evaluation score. And I already told you, evaluation will be AUC, not the accuracy, because accuracy is very basic, very basic. So we will not use it for as a method. We will use the AUC. So you have to test it yourself, what your AUC is. You have the train set, you have the test set. What you can also do, you can take the train set and also split the train set and do some cross validation there and test your accuracy on the train set. And then you can test the accuracy on the test set. You can do it yourself. And then you can upload your prediction on Kaggle, and then Kaggle will do the evaluation itself on the kernel, on the background, and then you will get the score. So, and in the end, like, of course, there are these validation methods. I'm telling you that it will be AUC. Now we are coming to the assessment, okay? So once you will have the scores, you're uploading it and everything, and we can see it. You can ask us personally, what is your score? We give you your score and we tell you, no, this is not good. You need to do better. Or if it's good enough, we'll say, yes, it has passed the threshold, okay? We will have a sample solution, which will be, again, completely something, let's say a standard, like your score has to be beyond that standard. If not, it's not a pass. Just like this, in this mock datathon, we have uploaded a sample solution, and in this solution, we have assumed that all the women in Titanic, they survived, and all the men, they died. So this is not a prediction, it's just some sample. So there will be exactly a sample solution. We will not tell you how we created the sample solution, but that's your pass mark. You have to pass that test at least. And once you're after the datathon is closed, we will, of course, we will have a look into your notebooks, into your codes, and we will see how you did that, because just by providing a best model or predicting everything accurately, you are not qualifying yourself as a winner. No, because how did you do this? Did you do the descriptive analysis? Did you check what's the variation, what's the ratio, and everything, the variance and the correlation between the features? How did you select the features? Because if you don't do descriptive analysis, you will not see which feature can be important and which are not. Okay, what are the correlations? So how did you come with this idea? Who helped you? Okay, so we will see the descriptive analysis, all the plots, and also, like, the thing is, we don't care how beautiful the plots are. It's okay. It can be a black and white plot. Like for the assessment, we won't care about that as long as you have done it. And then we will see exactly the feature engineering. We will see which models you used and which model, the best model. Of course, you have to create a few models, okay? And then one of the models will be the best model, and the best and it will give you the best submission and the best submission score, and we will always take the best score. And also, please specify when you are uploading your submission, be sure to name the file distinctively. It's not just for us, it's also for you. It's very important, okay? So I will give you a sample name of a file. So the best would be team name underscore which model you used underscore which version of the model you used, because I use the same random forest model. I changed the parameter, so there are different versions of my same random forest model. So you should, like, it should be distinctive for yourself so that you know which model did you submit, which model's result did you submit. And best would be like a timestamp, like, okay, 27th of January, 7 p.m., something like that, okay? Just try to be very distinctive, like, okay, this is my submission file. And then after that, when we will, the supervisors will gather, and we have a lot of team. The team number is not final yet. We will tell you, I think registration closes tomorrow. Yes. So we will tell you how many teams are participating on today is, wait, I need to check my my agenda. Yes, on 25th, we will tell you the team number. And I will also, when I will be explaining you about that, like everything you will know again, like I will brief you again about the data set before starting. I will say everything just before the competition starts. So the supervisors will choose the 10 best teams out of the, like after assessing everything. Of course, like the accuracy, not accuracy, let's say the prediction model has to pass the threshold and the descriptives and everything. And then we will choose top 10 teams. And then we will suggest the top 10 teams to the jury. The jury will decide which top 5 teams will be presenting live. So basically, the top 5 teams who will be out of all the teams will be presenting live in front of the jury. And those top 5 teams will get notified. Just like you will have enough time to prepare a presentation. So the Datathon ends on 28th of January, 6 p.m. You will get the 5 teams, will know their names exactly within 24 hours. Okay? Because the live presentation is on 30th January, one day later at 11 a.m. Bangladesh time. Okay, so you will have from Friday night, 6 p.m. till next day, let's say 10 a.m. to prepare a presentation and your talks. And at that time, that thing is like, you can do some plots and stuff like that. Like you can make the plots a bit more beautiful because the jury, they're not all nerds. Okay, I mean, if I see a plot, it's a plot. Okay, I can understand. I mean, I don't care which color it is, how beautiful this is, what's the graphic. But the thing is, yeah, it looks nice to if it's nice. Definitely. And visualization is a part of data science. A big part of data science is visualization. Okay. So if you are already starting with descriptives and everything, you can invest a little bit more time to create the plots in a nice way from the very beginning, but don't get into that much details. But though for the 5 teams, they will be competing against each other. So at that time, you will need some good visualization to present to the jury. And I think there are one jury who is a data scientist who will be looking inside the technical part and everything. And the others, they will look at it like something like, how are you presenting it? What is the problem and what is your solution? How did you approach it? What is your innovative idea? What did you do? What was the data? The thing is, the jury knows about the data set. You don't have to explain them the data set. So it's not like you won't be assessed by how good you are pitching, not that, but how innovative you are. What is the new idea? What is the new approach you thought? But you can decide about it also, like when you have the final announcement of the 5 teams, you will have enough time to prepare your presentation and everything. I'm just saying one thing, just a tip. Project managers, bosses, professors, like whoever, your peers in data science, they really like if you can present a dashboard. I'm not saying that you have to program a dashboard or Shiny or JavaScript or something, but just saying, like, it's completely up to you how you're presenting it. You can do it on PowerPoint. You can do it in a dashboard. You can do however you like. The thing is, you will just have to like show that you are interested. You put some effort in it. Okay, that is the main thing. We will see. Okay, she might not have coded that much properly, but she at least her solution passed. But we can see how much effort this team has given into it, that they were thinking, they did this, and they tried different methods and everything. This is what we will be looking at. Okay, so I think I have summarized the whole process. Since we won't be seeing each other anymore, we will go for a call. You will be sent a Zoom link. I will arrange that with Humayun or whoever there is from Bangladesh Open Source Network to send the participants a Zoom link. And that will be just 1 hour before the Datathon starts. There, I will explain you the data set, how many participants are there, the team and the team members. Okay, you can have a look, and then you will have a go. Yeah. Any questions? I have got 2 new messages. Pre-learn model. Okay, you have to. Okay, you have to. How does it mean you don't have more data grip? So we don't. No, you don't have to work with data grip or any kind of database server because it will be too complicated for everybody. That's why we have decided not to incorporate that part in this datathon, because honestly, it took me 1.5 hours to explain that part to you, which was not even on my agenda. We sent you the credentials and we were waiting. Okay, are they connecting or not? What are the questions? There were no questions before the session started. So we thought that within 48 hours, we won't take the risk because you will be losing time. Some people will get connected very easily, some people will not. So we are not doing this, but we might do it next time. Can we use pre-learn model? Now, here's the thing. You can, before the datathon, you can discuss about it. You can try different models. You can try lots, so you can practice, no problem. But you cannot use any models that you have used before. This is very important. Okay? This is important. I mean, come on, it's just fair. You can talk about how you're going to do this. You can try different other data sets on Kaggle and take a look at how you can look at the forum, how they did that, how other people did that, what they did, and how they did, etc. But please don't use pre-learned model, and please don't copy paste or something. I mean, yes, of course, if you're doing this mock datathon and you implemented some methods, of course you can use that. It's no big deal. But anyway, you will have to train the model again and again. So I don't think how you can use any kind of like different models from somewhere else, because this data set is not public, and we have created this data set. We will be creating this data set, and we will be tweaking the parameters ourselves, the features. We will do something else there as well. So I don't think you can. This data set is completely different. You don't have it anywhere. Any questions? You can directly talk to me, and you can also speak in Bangla. For the top 5 things, this is important for you to know that the presentation will be in English, because we have 2 international juries there, one from Germany, one from India. So, and I have to tell you one thing, that take this opportunity as a very good basis for networking. The supervisors, the jury, and there's a speaker also who will be speaking on the second day of the Datathon in the data science segment. These people are scattered around the world. Like, they were like from USA, from Germany, from France, from Australia, and these are influential people. So they will take a look at you. Okay, so try to impress these people. I mean, the thing is, of course, you can try impress me or something, but it doesn't mean anything unless you have the interest to grow. So take it as an opportunity. Okay?
আপু
বলো।
যে মানে 48 ঘন্টার যে হ্যাকাথনটা হবে মানে এক একটা দিনে কিভাবে কন্ডাক্ট করবে বা মানে কখনো হ্যাকাথনে পার্টিসিপেট করি নাই, তো এইটা নিয়ে একটু কনফিউজ।
তোমার টিমের নাম কি? তুমি কোন টিমে?
আমি হচ্ছে লিস্কোপ টুপার।
আচ্ছা, তোমরা কি একজন আরেকজনকে চিনো তোমার টিম?
হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ, আমরা সবাইকে চিনি।
আচ্ছা, তাহলে তো কোনো সমস্যা নাই। সো দ্য থিং ইজ, ওকে, will you be working in the same room
না
or
না আপু, আমরা 4 জন 4 জায়গায়।
okay? So I will suggest you to communicate with each other with some, let's say, Discord. First of all, it's always better to over communicate than under communicate. Okay, তোমার টিম মেম্বারদের সাথে তোমাকে কন্টিনিউয়াসলি ইন্টারাকশনে থাকতে হবে, ঠিক আছে? এখন তোমরা যদি বলো যে ঠিক আছে আমাদের তো 4টা কাজ আছে, একজন ডেসক্রিপটিভ করলাম, একজন ফিচার ইঞ্জিনিয়ারিং করলাম, একজন মডেল করলাম, এভাবে করলে না, ইটস অলসো লাইক টিপ ফর আদার্স। তোমরা যদি এভাবে, এটা কিন্তু একটা সিকোয়েন্সিয়াল কাজ হয়ে গেল। সো কেউ মনে করো ডেসক্রিপটিভ নিয়ে বসে আছে, তার রেজাল্ট আসার আগ পর্যন্ত আরেকজন ফিচার ইঞ্জিনিয়ারিং করতে পারতেছে না, ফিচার ইঞ্জিনিয়ারিং এর রেজাল্ট আসার আগ পর্যন্ত আরেকজন মডেলিং করতে পারতেছে না। সো ইউ আর লুজিং টাইম। হ্যাঁ, বেস্ট উড বি তোমরা যদি একসাথে কাজ করো। দিস ইজ হোয়াট আই মেন্ট অ্যাবাউট টিম ওয়ার্ক। ইউ হ্যাভ টু ওয়ার্ক ইন টিম, নাহলে তোমরা 48 ঘন্টার মধ্যে শেষ করতে পারবা না। সো তোমরা 4 জন মিলে চিন্তা করো, ঠিক আছে, ডেসক্রিপটিভ অ্যানালাইসিসটা কি কি করা যায়, কি কি ডিস্ট্রিবিউশন দেখা যায়, কি কি কোরিলেশনশিপ দেখানো যায়। এবং তখন হচ্ছে কি তোমরা এটা করতে পারো যে ঠিক আছে তুমি কোরিলেশনশিপ দেখাও, আমি ফিচার ডিস্ট্রিবিউশন দেখাই, আমি এই কাজ করি, আর অ্যাট দ্য সেম টাইম 2 জন মিলে ফিচার ইঞ্জিনিয়ারিং করা শুরু করে দাও অলরেডি। তোমাদের কোনো রকম নিউ ফাইন্ডিংস আসলে আমাদেরকে বলবা। সো অলওয়েজ ট্রাই টু বি ইন কমিউনিকেশন। বেস্ট উড বি তোমাদের দ্য থিং ইজ তোমাদের ডেটা ওয়াইফাই কিরকম তোমাদের, বা ইউ নিড দ্যাট। হ্যাঁ, এই ব্যাপারে আমি হুমায়ুনের সাথে অলরেডি কথা বলতেছি, ঠিক আছে, যে হাউ টু ফ্যাসিলিটেট ইউ। তোমরা একটা আইদার, আমাদের জুম হল ওপেন থাকবে এই 48 ঘন্টা কন্টিনিউয়াসলি, জুম হল ওপেন থাকবে। সো তোমরা আইদার ওই জুম হলে তোমরা অন্য মানে নিজেদের মধ্যে কথা বলতে পারো, বাট এখন অনেকেই মানে এসে ঢুকলা বা দেখলা কি হচ্ছে না হচ্ছে, অথবা তোমরা নিজেরা ডিসকর্ডে নিজস্ব চ্যানেল ক্রিয়েট করে তোমরা কিন্তু নিজেরা কিন্তু প্রাইভেট একটা গ্রুপও ক্রিয়েট করতে পারবা ডিসকর্ডে ওখানে তোমরা আলোচনা করতে পারো। বাট বেস্ট উড বি যদি তোমরা যদি ভিডিওতে কথা বলতে পারবে সামথিং, সো তোমরা আইদার জুম ইউজ করতে পারো, বাট জুমে বোধহয় প্রাইভেট 40 মিনিটের বেশি কথা বলা যায় না।
আপু আমরা হচ্ছে গুগল মিট ইউজ করা।
গুগল মিট, হ্যাঁ, গুগল মিট ইজ এ গুড চয়েস। গুগল মিটে তোমরা জাস্ট কন্টিনিউয়াসলি গুগল মিট অন রেখে দিবা, ঠিক আছে? কি হচ্ছে না হচ্ছে মানে একদম এমন না যে তোমাদেরকে ঘুমাইতে যেতে হবে না, তোমাদের ইট ওয়ন্ট বি লাইক দ্যাট ব্যাড যে তোমাদেরকে এখন মানে 48 ঘন্টা একটানা কাজ করতে হবে। নো, কারণ হচ্ছে গিয়ে বুধবার মঙ্গলবার সন্ধ্যায় শুরু হবে, তো বুধবার সকালে 9টার সময় তোমাদের একটা হেলথ অ্যান্ড নিউট্রিশন সেশন আছে কিন্তু, অ্যান্ড আই উড রেকমেন্ড ইউ টু অ্যাটেন্ড দ্যাট, ঠিক আছে? হেলথ এন্ড নিউট্রিশন, যে একটু খাবার দাবার কিভাবে ভালো করতে হয় আমাদের মেয়েদের জন্য, আমাদের যে কি কি প্রবলেম থাকে শারীরিক, এবং লাইক একটু এক্সারসাইজ, একটু ফ্রি হ্যান্ড এক্সারসাইজ করা, একটু কমিউনিকেট করা, হ্যাঁ, যে স্ট্রেসফুল সিচুয়েশনের মধ্যে কিভাবে নিজের হেলথের যত্ন রাখতে হয়, দিস ইজ অলসো ইম্পর্টেন্ট। সো ওইখানেও একটু অ্যাটেন্ড করার চেষ্টা করো। হ্যাঁ, আর ওই যে রাতে না ঘুমায় 48 ঘন্টার জন্য এখন একটানা কাজ করবো, ইট ওয়ন্ট বি লাইক দ্যাট। এর জন্য বলছি যে তোমরা যদি সিকোয়েন্সিয়ালি করো, ওই যে সিরিয়ালি ভাবে যদি করো, তাহলে হচ্ছে গিয়ে ইয়ে হবে না, তোমাদের ওই 48 ঘন্টা এটা তোমরা কভার করতে পারবে না। এটা একসাথে কাজ করতে হবে তোমাদের। গুগল মিট ইজ এ ভেরি গুড আইডিয়া।
ঠিক আছে আপু, থ্যাংক ইউ আপু।
ইউ মোস্ট ওয়েলকাম। এনিওয়ান এলস?
আপু আমি একটু বলতে চাই।
হ্যাঁ বলো স্বর্ণা।
আপু হচ্ছে আমাদের টিম রেজিস্ট্রেশন করা হয়েছে, মানে আমি করছি বাট কোনো কনফার্মেশন আসে নাই, যদি জানতাম যে হয়েছে কিনা।
তোমার নাম, তোমার টিমের নাম কি?
রুয়েট ট্রিনিটি।
এটা আমি দেখতে পাচ্ছি।
ওকে,
স্বর্ণা আছো 3 জনের মেম্বার।
জি
তারপরে হচ্ছে গিয়ে শেগুফা আছো,
আর জেবা।
আর জেবা, হ্যাঁ এবং তোমরা সবাই রাজশাহীর, তাই না?
জি আপু।
হ্যাঁ, ঠিক আছে। হ্যাঁ, না তোমরা আসো এখানে, you are there. Can we use dataset outside the given one for training? How? I don't understand the question. Fardifa Fatmiul Alam, can you please talk to me? আমার সাথে direct কথা বল, I don't understand the problem.
সরি, আমি নিজে এটাতে নুবস, এটা আমার ভুল হতে পারে জানাতে, বাট মেইনলি আমার কিছু ফ্রেন্ডস আরেকটা কম্পিটিশনে, মেইনলি ওদের একটা মেশিন লার্নিং কম্পিটিশন, ইট ওয়াজ কল্ড ডেটা এআই. So for that, they use some extra data set. So even I'm not sure how this would work, but since I thought, that's why I wanted to ask about it. For example, they use some extra data set. That's why I asked.
So if they use extra data set, it can be that, okay, let's say there is, I don't know whether you were there when I was explaining the huge database that we were working on, the ICU data. Were you there? তুমি কি ছিলে তখন?
I don't think so. আজকে একটু late join করা হয়েছে. My bad.
I mean, we showed it the second day and on the third day. ওই যে ডেটাবেজ নিয়ে কাজ করছিলাম যেখানে, যে একটা বিশাল বড় ডেটা নিয়ে ওখান থেকে আস্তে করে কমায় আনছি ওই ডেটাটা, তখন কি ছিলে?
I think আমি ছিলাম, but still আমি প্রসেস আবার একটু শুনতে চাচ্ছি।
On that thing we also had like 2 data sets. ঠিক আছে? One is the record of the ICU patients, okay, every hour record, and another data set was a helping data set, a helper data set about the blood level, like the blood values, the blood test results. So that's like using another data set, but your main problem will be one, and you have to solve that problem. So our problem was to predict at that time on that datathon where I was participating. Our problem was to predict. Our question was to predict who had heart attack and what's the relationship of, I mean, how potassium and what the other features will incorporate towards a heart attack. So এটার জন্য we had to take another data set, যা আমাদেরকে যেটা দিয়ে দিচ্ছে. Those data sets were provided to us already, but in this datathon, to be fair to everybody, we will have one data set, okay, ঠিক আছে, that is all that you have, and this data set, it's not available anywhere else, and like this, you won't find a similar data sets from somewhere else. Okay, so it's like I don't see how you can use other data set for the training, but even then you're not allowed to use other data sets than the provided data set.
Okay, thank you. That's all I needed to know.
Anyone? Any question? Otherwise, I will close the session.
আপু আর একটা কোশ্চেন ছিল।
বলো।
কম্পিটিশনের সময় মানে মেন্টরদের সাথে আমাদের কমিউনিকেশনটা কি শুধু ডিসকর্ডে হবে?
So the communication will be like this. So there will be quite a few volunteers who will be in touch with you. ঠিক আছে? There will be quite a few volunteers from HerWILL, from my organization. They will be in touch with you. Not like যে 1 ঘন্টা পর পর, because you need to work as well. So মনে করো 3-4 ঘন্টা একবার তারা নক করবে তোমাদেরকে, like is everything okay, is everything fine, do you need something, do you need to reach a supervisor or something. সেটাও অপশনটা থাকবে। আর হচ্ছে কি যে ডিসকর্ড অপশন তো আসে, ডিসকর্ডে হচ্ছে কি যে সুপারভাইজার থেকে আস্ক করলা, সুপারভাইজার গ্রুপ থাকবে, সুপারভাইজার হচ্ছে কি সেভাবে অ্যান্সার দিয়ে দিতে পারবে। ঠিক আছে? এছাড়া well, can happen that ওই টাইমটা, like since we are everywhere around the world, ওই টাইমে হয়তো যেমন আমি ঘুমাচ্ছি বা তোমাদের এখন সন্ধ্যা, আমার মাত্র দুপুর হলো, সো এই টাইম জোন প্রবলেমটা যদি থাকে, সেখানে হচ্ছে কি ওই টাইমটা বাংলাদেশের টাইম জোনে, সমস্ত ভলান্টিয়ার কিন্তু বাংলাদেশের টাইম জোনে। ঠিক আছে? সো বাইরের কাউকে যদি রিচ করতে না পারো, ওই ভলান্টিয়ারদেরকে যদি বলো, ওই ভলান্টিয়াররা তখন আমার মনে করি আমি ঘুমাচ্ছি, ঠিক আছে, তো ওই সময় দায়িত্ব যে ভলান্টিয়ারের, সে তখন আমাকে কল দিবে, তখন আমি তোমাদের কোশ্চেনটা অ্যান্সার করতে পারবো। লাইক don't worry about that. You will be in constant communication with the supervisors, and if you have a question, I will try my best to make sure that you get your answer within 1 hour. ঠিক আছে? Have fun. তোমাদের কেমন লাগলো ওয়ার্কশপগুলি? Just 5 minutes to finish it. Well, how did you like the workshop and then everything, and then what is your direct feedback?
হেল্পফুল ছিল আপু, আর অ্যাকচুয়ালি দরকার ছিল এরকম কন্টেস্টের আগে এরকম একটা ওয়ার্কশপ।
Thank you, thank you. Noted, thank you. এটা আইডিয়া হচ্ছে, এই ওয়ার্কশপের
Thank
আইডিয়া
you,
কিন্তু
আপু।
নোভা আপুর, নোভা
Thank you
আহমেদ,
to all.
নোভা আহমেদ। ওয়ার্কশপের আইডিয়া কিন্তু ডক্টর নোভা আহমেদের, BDOSN এর। She said যে চারু একটা ওয়ার্কশপ করো। আচ্ছা ঠিক আছে, আমি করতেছি।
Yeah, it was really helpful, and we didn't know many things about machine learning and etc. So it at least gave us a basis so that we can move forward in this field or something. So it was really helpful.
This is the idea, যে তোমাদের একটু চেনায় দেওয়া, তোমরা নিজেরাই আগায় যাবা, রাস্তাটা একটু চেনায় দেওয়া, কয়েকজন মানুষের সাথে কানেক্টেড করায় দেওয়া, তোমরা আগায় যাবা।
আর রাস্তাটা চেনা দেওয়া অ্যাকচুয়ালি অনেক ইম্পর্টেন্ট একটা ফেজ, কজ ওই জায়গাটাতে আমরা অনেক হিমশিম খাই অনেক সময়, যে কোন দিকে যাব, উই ডোন্ট আন্ডারস্ট্যান্ড।
Yeah.
আপু, আমি যেমন ভার্সিটিতে আছি, তো ডেটা সায়েন্সের টুকটাক আগ্রহ ছিল, কিন্তু মেয়েদের যে এরকম প্ল্যাটফর্ম হবে বা এরকম ওয়ার্কশপ মানে পসিবল, এটা মানে জানা ছিল না। তো এটা আসার পরে মানে খুব ভালো লাগছে যে এটা হচ্ছে বা এরকম একটা জায়গা পাচ্ছি। থ্যাংক ইউ আপু।
Sure. I mean, all thanks to Bangladesh Open Source Network. They are organizing the Ada Lovelace celebration, the conference, which is taking place on Friday and Saturday. Shukro Shoni. Tumar website e gele dekhba. Like, this is the second time that it's happening. And I myself am very vocal about women in technology. Ami nije ইউরোপের সবচেয়ে বড় যে উইমেন ইন টেকনোলজি কনফারেন্স হয়, কনফারেন্স আমি গিয়ে আসছি, পার্টিসিপেট করে আসছি, and it's so amazing. I met the first female prime minister of Denmark there. She was there and like we had a talk. ব্যাপারটা হচ্ছে যে এখন হচ্ছে কি ধরনের কনফারেন্সগুলো অনলাইন এভাবে জুমে হয়ে গেছে, তো এখন একটা স্পিকার্স কর্নার নাই। কনফারেন্সগুলো শেষ হয়ে যাওয়ার পরে যে একটা কর্নারে একদিক কনফারেন্স চলতেছে, আরেক কর্নারে হচ্ছে গিয়ে আগের স্পিকারসদের সাথে কিছুক্ষণ কথাবার্তা বলা, এই প্যারালাল জিনিসটা, ওই ফ্লেয়ারটা নাই। বাট উই আর ট্রাইং আওয়ার বেস্ট টু ডু দ্যাট। সো উইমেন ইন টেক, আমার কথা হচ্ছে যে মেয়েরা কেন আসবে না? প্রযুক্তি শুরু হয়েছে মেয়েদের হাত দিয়ে, অনেস্টলি স্পিকিং। হ্যাঁ, যদি হিস্ট্রি দেখতে যাও, সো অবশ্যই মেয়েরা থাকবে। ডেটা সায়েন্সেই বা মেয়েরা কেন পিছিয়ে যাবে? তোমরা বিশ্বাস করো না যে বাংলাদেশে তো প্রচুর মেয়ে কম্পিউটার সায়েন্সে পড়ে, এত মেয়ে কিন্তু ইউরোপে আমি কম্পিউটার সায়েন্সে পড়তে দেখি নাই। অনেস্ট কথা, অনেস্ট ফিডব্যাক। হ্যাঁ, সো এখন তোমরা কম্পিউটার সায়েন্সে ঢুকছো, তো এখন তোমরা ডেটা সায়েন্সেও যাও, বিকজ দিস ইজ হোয়াট দ্য 21st century ইজ অ্যাবাউট। ঠিক আছে আপুরা, আমি রেখে দেই, আমরা we are closing this session. Thank you Carolina again, thank you very much for being here, and thank you for tolerating our Bangla conversations. I mean, we also gave them a test of their own medicine, you know. Talked in German too. Yes, and thank you so much. Without your supports, your and Philip's and Sabbir and first of all Humayun, I mean, without these people, it wouldn't have been possible to create this. I mean, there have been lots of mistakes. We could have organized it in a better way, but it had to be done like in a month, and it had to be like, okay, we get like go signal, now you do it, okay fine, now we're doing it. So it's been a journey. In 1 week it's over, and this last week is the, you know, the main important thing is happening next week. So thank you everyone, thank you Momo. It's a shame that Humayun couldn't be here himself. He excused himself yesterday to me. He said that he won't be available, but yes, thank you Rehab and Tahia, volunteers from HerWILL, And thank you, all the girls, all the participants, everyone who is going to participate in the Datathon, and also others who are not participating, and also especially the men who joined. I would also love to thank you. Trust me, I believe one thing, that without men, women cannot go far. And the other way around too, without women, men cannot go far. Okay, so we need men on our side. So, and I was amazed by the participation of men here. And if you have any question who is not participating in Datathon, you have my email address. I'm writing it down again. You can just drop me a line and whatever you need. Next week I'll be very busy. I won't be able to answer your questions before next week, but after that we can reconnect and whatever you need.